So yesterday you started, or the class started a day with a bell ringer assessment. If you're at home, you didn't have that bell ringer assessment. I just kind of did the review. But hopefully over the week or so, you've been trying to fix your errors. The importance of the review is just pretty much to allow you to focus on actual processes. So if you can focus on distributive property, if you can focus on making sure you do everything the way you're supposed to, then that allows you now to focus more on the number practice, which is the fraction things we've been doing, and everything should be okay. So the target strategy today is to focus on the target problems and the key points of each one. Again, the target problems represent the problems that have minimal tricks or obstacles. If you're still struggling with the information, then you should focus on what is discussed. These are the problems that will help you to pass the course. Again, keep in mind, we're trying to pass here. There are people who will get A's, but if you are a struggling student, I'm just trying to make sure that we at least get you to the point to where you can have a shot to get a decent score so that you can still be getting a passing grade when everything's gone or done. So let's look at that now. Again, the target problems that we should not miss. So don't forget addition and subtraction are the lowest levels. So those options should be worked out after multiplication, division, and exponents. But whenever addition and subtraction are in the problem, remember you have to work them out in order. So this is the one where I pointed out that you do not do the addition first because these two are on the same level. And so you have to make sure you do that part first and this part second. Once again, I get a number 11. I don't know why I keep getting 11, but oh well. But again, keep that in mind. Plant that into your memory. Please don't miss this question because it's not a question that should be missed. Whenever multiplication and division are the only operations, again, because they are even, they must also be worked out in order. So you don't do 7 times 2 just because you want to. You have to do them in order. So 14 divided by 7 goes first, and then 2 times 2 goes second. So keep that in mind. Plant this into your memory. Work this out from left to right. So when that happens and you have everything together, as we said, addition and subtraction are the lowest, which means these two should be the last two. It means that this is where we start. And so first thing we do, because these are even in terms of multiplication and division, we work them in order. So 10 minus 2 times 2 plus 6, and then we do our 2 times 2, which ends up being 4. I don't know why I put the parentheses, but it'll be okay. 10 minus 4, which doesn't help. And then after that, you do your 10 minus 4 first, because now we have addition and subtraction, which are on the same level. And then 6 plus 6 is 12. Again, proof that you can mess this up. For those of you who do 4 plus 6 first, it ends up being 10 minus 10, which is 0, which is why this is wrong. Do not do this, because doing that other number throws off everything, okay? In terms of your exponents, make sure to expand them and stop multiplying the base by the exponent, okay? So if you've had issues with exponents, pay close attention to what's going on here. This is not 4 times 3. This means 4 times 4 times 4. It means multiply 4 by itself 3 times, which means work this out the long way, and then you might have to do some long multiplication, 24, 25, to get the answer that you're looking for. Same thing here. 2 to the 4th is not 8. It's 2, 2, 2, and 2. It means put 4 2's down. So from there, you do 2 times 2, which is 4, 4 times 2, which is 8, and 8 times 2, which is your 16. And so remember that exponents are stronger than multiplication and division and everything else except for parentheses. So when given a problem, you should make sure you do the exponent first, because in terms of order, exponents are stronger. So you have multiplication here, you have an exponent there, and remember in the PEMDAS that is above multiplication division. So the first thing you should do is 5 to the 3rd, which is 5 times 5 times 5, or 25 times 5. 5 quarters gives you $1.25, no decimal of course, and so you end up with 2 times 125. After that, if you double the $1.25, I think you know that it's $2.50, but if not, just in case, 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 5, 2 times 1 is 2, there's your $2.50 as it is. That is also combined in another with another couple more steps, but again, parentheses above exponents, as it says up here, means that this goes first, and now the exponent, which is stronger than everything else. When there's no parentheses to be worked out, exponents is always going to be first. 6 squared turns into 36, remember, because that's 6 times 6. From there you do 3 times 36. And when you do 108 divided by 2, you can just view that as 10 and 8, and so it should be half of 10 is 5, half of 8 is 4, but let me show you the real way, or the long division way. 2 doesn't go into 10, but it goes into 10, or 2 goes into 10 5 times with nothing left over. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and there is your official 54. All right. And the last thing that we're going to talk about before I wrap this up and give you, some advice or direction, although some of you may not like the fraction portions of the problems, there are 3 distributive property problems, again, that are freebies. They don't have fractions. They simply require understanding of distributive property. So again, if you're trying to survive this quarter, make sure you pay attention to this part so you can get the last few points that you can get. This would be doing that problem to be 42b minus 48, because all you have to do is make sure you check your multiplication on that to understand what it is. This would be 9 times 4, which is 36j, plus 54. And the last type of problem is the one where this negative simply switches the signs on everything to be the opposite of what it is. So what we are looking at here is 1 2 3 4, which would be this one, 5, 6 problems, 7, 8 problems. So you're looking at 8 problems that we worked on. There are 17 problems on the test. 8 to 17, if you remember this, is 8 divided by 17, which would tell you that we're around 47%. So what I just went over represents about 47% of your tests. And as I told you, if you can get around a 50 on your quizzes and tests, then you should be okay in terms of getting out of this class. Because again, if you're doing this stuff without a calculator and you're actually working on getting better, it does help. But outside of that, if you need practice, go to the MathXL. And again, if you can't get into MathXL, you gotta let me know. But MathXL, which is that link that's right underneath the video, and go to the test 1 practice, and that has all the questions that you have, and the computer will tell you if you're right or wrong, and that way you can get some practice on that thing before the test. But again, make sure you're communicating with me if there's any issues. Outside of that, I will talk to you later, so take care.